Welcome to the FormCast.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Elo Bandit. I'm here today for the third episode of the FormCast with my friends Renny T, Aravar, and Deebz. What's
going on, everybody?
Alright, so we have so many things to talk about.
We decided
today.
to do our intros at the same time.
Yeah. It makes it better if we all do them at the same time. Okay, so I just really want to get into this because there are so many things I want to talk about. First of all, the new Pokemon look so awesome. And my number one favorite is Mimikyu. Everything about it looks awesome.
All right, hold your horses, buddy. Let's. Okay. So yesterday or something, I don't know. I'm in a weird time zone. A whole bunch of Mons were released, so we can pull up their names. But basically, this is a really cool update by Pokemon, so they've come up with what? How many Mons?
I think it was 6. 4 new ones, and then two of them had been shown in Koro, and they just got English names.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, so to start off, you have Wimpod, the bug water type with fucking Wimpout.
I like that one. I'll tell you about later.
I love
Wimpod.
it. We like.
Yeah,
I watched the
Wimpod
video,
is fucking sick. I love its typing. I'll say that much. I do love its typing.
Freaking ability in battle, and I laughed my ass off.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to catch that motherfucker. I mean, if you want to catch it, even.
God help the man who finds a shiny Wimpod in the wild.
No, honestly, I really like that because if it gets something like Sticky Web, then you could throw a scarf on it, have it immediately get Sticky Web up, and then switch out into whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think that kind of mechanic is really cool. Honestly.
Yeah, nice cool ability for grabbing initiative. Pretty interesting to see.
Like a built-in eject button, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then there is Bound Sweet, grass type. Who gives a shit?
Fucking Cherubi wearing a diaper.
Doesn't matter at all.
Don't think anyone cares.
That thing evolves into a better jump luff? No.
Yeah,
it looks like Hoppip with an extra chromosome. We don't need that shit. On to the next.
That's in poor taste. Let's continue.
Then there's Comfy, a new fairy type with Triage.
That looks cool. So the circle of flowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lay, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets priority on all healing moves. Does that apply to stuff like aromatherapy, I wonder?
Most likely.
Maybe.
I think that'd be really cool because it's like an actually effective cleric.
I also wonder if it gets priority on moves like Giga Drain.
You know, that's an interesting thought. I honestly, I don't think it's going to, but I think if it did, that would be cool.
All right. And then we can move into the big leagues.
Yes.
So I'm gonna skip this one, and we'll talk about the pedo bear. That
what is that thing? It's what's it called? Beware.
Fucking beware.
Beware the bear.
BEWEAR.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it has
absolute
fluffy, which halves damage taken from contact moves, but double damage from fire type moves. So that's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
One thing I was curious about is what about physical fire moves?
That probably just stays neutral.
Probably neutral, I'm guessing, like Flare Blitz or whatever.
Yeah.
Did we get the typing on that thing?
It's
normal fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, the only move that was revealed, I think, was Hammer Arm.
Yeah, Hammer Arm's new animation looks fucking crazy. Yeah. I'll say that much. It looked awesome.
Okay.
And then we have Mimikyu.
Mimikyu is my favorite. Oh my god, it's awesome. It gets the free sub. It's like a beautiful pivot, and it does so well for like revenge killing. For if something's already set up, if something's got like 3 dragon dances or some shit, and you need to take a hit with something and actually hit back, like, oh my goodness.
That's
and
true.
Also completely unrelated. Well, kind of related because it's the same Pokemon, but in 1v1. I think Mimikyu is going to be awesome.
That's going to be banned.
Nah. I think it'll be fine. It really depends on the stats and move pool, but honestly, being able to survive a single hit in 1v1 no matter what is
absolutely.
like ridiculously good.
Also,
I also wonder if disguise works. Like, is it once a battle, or is it every time it switches in?
It's once a battle. It's once a battle.
Okay, so once a battle.
The biggest question I have is, does it block status or not? because that wasn't really clarified.
It's got a really cool typing, a new typing in Ghost Fairy
It does,
too.
yes.
And
Yes.
that typing actually hits everything in the game neutrally except for Pyro and Litleo.
Which are very common attackers. You got to watch out for those.
Yeah.
So you got to really prepare for those. Put some other checks on your team. But the other thing I was going to say is highly, highly unlikely. But if it gets baton pass, can it baton pass its substitute?
No.
Probably not.
No way.
It's
Probably
no
not.
actual sub, right?
But I think that would be really cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
broken. And then all right. We can move on to
The piece de la
Big
resistance.
Big Daddy Mudsdale.
Motherfucking Black
Bojack
Rapidash on
Horseman.
steroids. This is
looks
Bojack
really cool.
Horseman with a fucking Mega Stone. Such a beautiful bastard.
This guy.
Love Mudsdale.
This guy is the sickest
It's incredible.
fucking Pokemon I've ever seen.
So Mudsdale is a ground type, basically like a Clydesdale horse, with the hidden ability Stamina, which anytime you get hit by an attack, it boosts the defense, which is crazy.
That's sick.
That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely sounds pretty cool. Pivoting to like weaker attacks like U-turns or rapid spins.
Oh my god.
Get a free
dude.
+1.
That's crazy.
I didn't even think about U-turns.
Yeah,
That's
like you
crazy.
turn
Oh,
on
yeah.
this, bam,
Or
+1
Volts, like
defense.
any hit. It's not even like physical hits or anything. It gets hit by a move and it gets a boost.
Oh, damn. That's going to be the bane of Volt Turn, because it's ground type, so it absorbs
Oh,
Volt
yeah.
switches.
Oh yeah,
Holy
good point.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it get a boost off that if it's not effective. Though.
Well, no, it wouldn't, but it would stop it in its tracks.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah that's...
So, also these are a whole bunch of new abilities, which is really like Game Freak is actually. I'm very surprised given how lackluster their reveal was for their cover legends.
Yeah, with
That's true.
basically abilities that already existed. Kind of.
But like
Yeah.
so far they've been going crazy with the
Yeah,
new
they've
abilities.
cranked it up to 11 lately.
I love it. I love it, honestly.
There's a lot more of what I've noticed, like Zen mode type of abilities, where you get below 50% and something happens.
Yeah, I think we talked about that in the first episode, didn't we? We talked
Yeah.
about how Zygarde goes low HP
Zygarde's
and then
doing
his
it.
Yeah.
HP goes back up. Yeah.
You got
Drampa's doing
Drampa
it,
with
and then
Berserk.
Now Wimp Out.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Which is cool because Zen mode Darmanitan is a piece of ass. So
Oh yeah, a nice hot piece of ass. I love that bastard so much. Absolutely gorgeous Pokemon.
Thanks, Renny. All right. Is Mudsdale all your favorite of the group?
yes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. This thing's a beast. Nice defensive ground type. Give it good recovery.
I doubt
Then we got
that.
something going.
That would
Yeah.
be too ridiculous. But I can see a really good Edge Quake on there, just kind of hitting everything.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be a monster in competitive. I guarantee it. But I am sticking with my favorite being Mimikyu. I just love the design, honestly. The fact that
Oh, yeah, that
they
thing's
based it
adorable.
off,
Design's really
they
cool.
based it off the surplus of Pikachu merchandise that was being produced. Like that's if you read the little lore
that was
segment.
such a weird
Yeah.
like fourth wall break kind of thing.
I know.
Like, are they making Pikachu merchandise in the games?
I don't know. I guess.
Like,
I don't know. I just really like that. I think that's great.
No one actually gives a shit about Pikachu like in the games, right? It's just
Yeah,
'cause
that's
Ash's
pretty much
teammate.
true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm
But-
just reading the description of Mimikyu on Cerebi, and like there's so many like little references in there. It says the rising popularity of Pikachu-styled merchandise around 20 years ago is the reason that Mimikyu looks like Pikachu. So like
And we
this thing's
they
been
just
around
had their
since Gen
20th
1, know what I'm
anniversary.
saying? Like
Oh yeah.
this thing's been around forever, and we're just seeing it. Like, I don't know. Just little things like that.
What does it really look like? We'll
Yeah.
never know.
But it's missing, no. Under a Pikachu.
Oh,
And it all comes
snap,
together.
You heard it here first, folks.
Breaking news. Yeah.
Mimikyu confirmed missing no.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta love Bounce Sweet too. Everybody loves Bounce Sweet. All
Bounce
over my Twitter feed. People can't get over that beautiful creature. Such an awesome Pokemon.
Wait, what? Didn't it get at least an interesting ability?
It gets
Nope.
oblivious.
It gets two awful abilities.
It
I'm
gets
pretty sure.
oblivious, which means it can't be infatuated.
Oh.
Or taunted.
Or
for that
taunted?
matter.
Or taunted?
Taunted.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if it gets good status moves, give it nice grass type Stealth Rock. Then we're talking.
Yep.
This thing's just Cherubi wearing a diaper. Like I said before, who cares?
Oh, one thing I wanted to say about Comfy, or however you pronounce it, is I forget where I read this. It might have been on Reddit, but someone talked about how it looks like it might be like a Klefki that moved to Alola, and then like instead of picking up keys like they did in Kalos, it picked up flowers.
You know what? It kind of does look like that.
Right, because it's also a fairy type.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So props to whoever said that. I can't remember who said that.
Yeah,
but I thought it was a cool idea.
I'd believe that, actually. That looks definitely like it could be something like that. And then the other thing that we have to talk about coming from the new gens is hyper training, which looks very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, you can now get IVs. Like, you can increase your IVs at level 100. So...
Is it IVs or EVs?
IVs.
Okay, interesting. Gotcha.
Yes. So super training existed to EV train, but IV training is huge because basically that's Game Freak saying, yeah, we realize that there's this convoluted method where you need to use like, basically, it's
soft
so
resetting
difficult to get 6 IV mons. Yeah, soft resetting. Basically, it's the biggest thing for legends.
Yeah,
like,
that's the big thing.
You can actually get 6 IV legends without having to basically hack. You can get 6 IV dittos probably without having to hack, and then that just makes life so much easier for everybody. So Game Freak is basically lowering the accessibility like floor, basically.
Which I think is fantastic.
Yeah. About friggin' time,
That's
honestly.
huge.
Thank you so much, Game Freak. Thank you for finally listening.
Like it's very clear that they're trying to do something about like this, and I hate to bring this up, but like the power saves and stuff and all that's in VGC and stuff.
Yep. Verlisify's message went through.
There's a whole side.
This is all because of Verlisify people. Thank you so much, Verlis.
I'm not trying to bring up
Thank you
like
so
arguments
much.
and debates, but like clearly they see it as a thing that needs to change. So
I mean, the thing is, they still obviously they haven't said, you know what, let's just do away with the system of IVs. No. We still have to go through like getting them up to level 100 and then using some sort of capsule kind of thing in order to boost IVs somehow.
Yep.
It's still a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I don't think power saves aren't going anywhere. Editing isn't going anywhere. But just for those VGC players who don't want to risk hacking something on the off chance that it gets somehow caught, this is definitely a huge, huge boon.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I guess that's it for that topic then. So yeah, everyone get hype for hyper training. Other than that, that should be the end of the new gen stuff. Now we can move on and talk a little bit about TCL. Renny, you got something for us?
For all the TCL fans out there who are few and far between, I know, compared to stuff like the UCL, and fortunately I could say that's with good reason, considering our first week in Season 3 we had 2 forfeits, and one person who didn't upload their match, who was actually my opponent this week, so whatever. And for that, I solemnly apologize on the behalf of the TCL. Hopefully, the upcoming weeks will change. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, TCL is pretty good. All in all, if we ignore the obvious downsides. Good matches all around. This is a showdown-based league, by the way.
The three of us in this call just watch
Yeah.
us. That's all.
We all uploaded our matches. It was simple enough for us.
Toss us
I'm
a
not
sub.
in it.
Yeah.
toss us a sub, some views.
Yeah, get over
As
here.
always, everyone's channel will be linked in the description.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
but
go to
enough
everyone
about the
else's channel,
TCL.
so-
Let's talk about the UCL, which is what I'm sure
Go
a lot of
for
people
it.
are here for. With Week 1 coming to a close, the first place teams so far are the Pittsburgh Pichus, coached by Numb Nexus, and the Newcastle Nido Kings, coached by Patters, I believe. Is that Patters? Both getting 5-0 victories against their opponents. Honestly, a lot of good standings here. Long Island Reggie Rocchies, coached by Nips, I believe.
Nips.
My apologies for not remembering all the coaches. Clenching 3rd seed right now. Bronze Bear Ticks, coached by PokeMMD, with the 4th place. And then everyone else just chilling.
That's right.
So, anyone see some particularly cool movesets within some UCL battles you want to talk about?
Yeah, can I just talk about how, and this is no slight on any of the coaches, but so David identified Joey's team as completely grounded, and he brought a Landorus without Earthquake. Can I just ask why?
Wait, what?
David, if you're listening to this,
Dude,
please.
David's the best fucking battler in the UCL, and I don't care what anybody says. He's taking the fucking crown.
the most important thing, as I've learned in my seasons of League, is the nicknames.
The nicknames are the most important things. And if you bring a Keldeo named Dildo with a 1 replacing the I in the word Dildo, then you're probably going to win. Your chances of winning increase astronomically.
Astronomically.
Oh.
Sorry, you handed that to
Yep.
me. Okay. That
Props to
wrap it up
David
that
for
then?
his amazing nicknames. Props to Pokeaim, by the way, for
I
bringing
think that's-
Fling Light Ball Garboder. Pretty cool tech right there.
Fling light ball. That was sick.
Pretty awesome stuff. For those of you who don't know what Fling Light Ball does, if you fling a light ball at the opponent, you essentially paralyze them. And since Garboder doesn't get...
Even if it's
a ground type,
Yeah.
Garboder doesn't get anything like Body Slam or T-Wave. So, good option. Well, not
That's
good by any
interesting.
means.
I didn't know that.
Definitely interesting option
Yeah.
to get the paralysis off.
I've never seen that before. Like people use Fling, King's Rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a new one. Toxic Orb too. All right. In GBA news, I don't know about most people, but I know that the most important players in the GBA, Chimpact and Envy, have qualified this week for the playoffs.
Yep.
So, round of applause for them.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. You done did
To the
it.
surprise of like virtually nobody.
Yeah.
Except the the power ranking guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
Rankings, guys.
I don't know. Their teams lack versatility. I really don't see what they have going for them.
Remember when Chimp was 1 and 2 and everyone was doubting him? And he's won like 8 in a row.
Oh,
now.
yeah. With a fucking retarded differential.
And a shout out to Battler X.
Man,
Battler X, greatest of all time.
I got a lot of respect for Battler X,
Yeah.
honestly.
If only we knew his true
And he
identity.
loses, but he loses in style.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
Okay, all right.
All right.
I just want to kiss Battler X, that's it.
You want X to give it
Oh,
to you.
yeah.
God damn it.
Ben, are you good?
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay, I'm done.
On that note, yeah.
This is why you're here, people. This is what you came to see.
Okay, all right. I'm good. Let's move on. Okay, so we've been looking into the future a little bit, and we've all kind of come up with some things that we want to see in the new gens.
Looking at my crystal ball, seeing into the future.
Yep, he has. I saw him do it. And I thought of a whole bunch of abilities that I think would be really, really cool. None of these are confirmed. None of these are even mentioned by anyone, Game Freak or otherwise. I just thought them up, and I think that they would be frickin' sweet. So here they are. First of all, I want an ability called Geomancer that makes rock and ground moves never miss. Why I want this is so that, first of all, the rock type moves that all have like 80 to 90 accuracy, which is super annoying, can actually hit what they're aimed at. And so that ground Pokemon have more options against flying Pokemon. I think that could be a really, really interesting ability.
Wait, so you're saying ground type moves can hit flying
Right,
types?
because if rock and ground type moves can't miss,
Damn.
I think
Go
that'd be
ahead,
really
go
interesting.
ahead, give someone Geomancer and Fissure while we're at it too. Then
I
we're
was about
talking
to
the
say,
money.
Fissure.
That's just like the biggest flaw I see with this ability. But with the rock moves, like with none of them having good accuracy outside of smack down, yay. But yeah, Geomancer's
Yeah,
definitely
true.
something that I could see being really cool with a slight rework around Fissure. Really awesome ability idea.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good
And
one.
I think everybody and their mother wants to see more E8 abilities, more stuff like Glaciate or Pixelate. A fire type like a Flagrate or water type Hydrate would be really cool, I think. All those Pokemon are just really effective. Like, well, with the possible exception of Mega Glalie, but
No, don't talk shit about Mega. No. Don't
I'm
talk shit about Mega
talking shit about Mega Glalie right now, actually. And but no, just in general, I really like Pokemon with those abilities. I think they are generally very interesting. But that's not really news to anyone because that's been talked about quite a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, this is all in the theory of sort of Game Freak is going crazy out of their way to come up with all sorts of new abilities. So that's what we're gonna do now. Basically, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm excited. This is my new favorite segment. Okay.
I'm really excited. I want to see a brand new ability that prevents the sleep condition, and then give it to Delibird as a replacement for Hustle.
Why? Why do you want this?
Why specifically
I
Delibird?
want Delibird to have Insomnia, Vital Spirit, and a third ability.
That is
my
true
God.
genius right there.
I like it.
Wow.
Game Freak, let it happen. Please.
Okay. I want a defensive version of Mold Breaker, something that stops opponents' offensive abilities. So stuff that could counter things like Huge Power, stuff that could counter stuff like Intimidate or Sheer Force. Something for an actually defensive Pokemon to make use of.
Ooh,
And
that has potential to be
Oh yeah.
pretty broken.
Like we were just talking about the
If you're
8
not
abilities
careful.
right there, like reverting the 8 abilities back to a normal type attack with this
Yeah.
ability would
Oh
be
my God.
really sweet. Neuter stuff like Mega Gardevoir, Mega Altaria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's one
Defensive.
ability I can actually see them doing that, a defensive version of Mold Breaker, because it would just be so good and so practical. And I'm sure there's been some outcry for that before, not just on this podcast right here. Really awesome ability concept.
That's a good one. Could you imagine neutering parental bond?
Oh, thank God, finally.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
There's the Megas Case
Yeah.
counter. Okay.
Whoever gets his ability just kills the baby on the field.
That's dark, dude. That's dark. Alright, and then for anyone that's ever played an inverse battle, it means that not very effective moves are super effective and super effectives are not very effective. And I think having that automatically would be a really cool ability for a Pokemon. Make your opponent kind of change their way of thinking while they're fighting it. So stuff like, I don't know, maybe a bug type could get it and just hit like fire types or something weird.
Oh yeah.
Just surprise people and make them kind of confused and kind of like, why is this a thing?
Man, that would be absolutely
That would
crazy.
confuse people because I still don't know what resist bug. Good lord.
Also,
The
like just
fire,
a
steel.
normal type
Does
attack.
resist-
Flying.
Well, it's just, I mean, there's like still some, even after 20 years of playing the game, there's still
Yeah.
some type
Bug's a confusing
type
ass type.
matchups that I'm just like, what do bug and ground do to each
Yeah.
other? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Bug resists ground. So like EQ does not do a lot of damage
Yeah,
against.
that's correct.
Oh, does
Yeah.
it? Wow.
Yeah.
But bug attacks are neutral to ground Pokemon.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
kind of
see.
weird stuff.
Yeah.
And then my personal favorite ability that I've thought up is for one Pokemon and one Pokemon only, and that is Mega Ditto. Ditto is the only Pokemon that I really care or not if they get a Mega Evolution, because it's so nonsensical. There's really no reason for it, and I think the only way that you can make it work is with this particular ability. So for those of you that don't know, Mega Evolving a Pokemon can change all of their stats except for HP. Ditto's whole thing is he transforms into an opponent and copies all of their stats except for HP. So essentially, a Mega Ditto would be basically useless because it would just be a Ditto, and then it would just be your opponent. But I think if you gave a Mega Ditto an ability that every single turn it was on the battle, it got more maximum HP, then you could wait a few turns and transform into an actually effective version of your opponent. Give it a couple moves like Megas always get, give it like Protect and Substitute, and then just see where it can go. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's interesting if you switch into something that you know, like that you know the mon you're transforming into will resist your opponent.
Mhm.
Like it's hard because I mean Ditto's whole thing is sort of based around having a choice
Yeah.
life, right?
I just like
Being
anything.
able to outspeed, so you're still forced into like speed
Yeah.
ties, so to speak. So, but I guess if you have more health, then you might be able to take a hit and then hit back.
Yeah, I think that
don't
was kind of the general idea.
Yeah, I just like
okay.
anything for Ditto to be able to transform into defensive Pokemon without turning into absolute dead weight. And this is a way to do it, and a really good way to do it as
know.
well
That's true.
with
And
the health gain.
Yeah.
speaking of defensive Pokemon and new ideas that may or may not suck ass, I had a really great and terrible idea for a new item. This new item is called
Go ahead.
Choice Pants. Alright?
Oh god.
Choice
Here we
Pants.
go.
It's like an Eviolite, so it increases your special defense and defense by 1.5 times each. But you don't have to put it on a non-fully evolved Pokemon. But it locks you into a move.
Okay, I'm intrigued. That actually sounds pretty awesome.
Okay, now,
What?
so most defensive Pokemon really do rely on switching up their moves. They rely on usually status or recovery or something along those lines. But there are some bulky Pokemon that I think could actually make use of having great stats and only being able to choose one move. What are you guys' additional thoughts to this? Because this is the first time I brought this up.
Man, I'm just looking through
Well,
potential
I wanna hear what
Pokemon.
you
Yeah.
think this would benefit.
I want to put it on Rotom Wash. I want to have it'd be like a scarfed Rotom Wash, but it would actually be bulky. Yeah? You could trick,
I mean, you're
put it
saying
on an
just Volt
opponent.
Switch
Yeah, you
out?
could Volt Switch, you could throw out a Hydro Pump, and yeah, play it just like you'd play a Choice Scarf Rotom, but still fill the role of a tank on your team. Also, Volcanion. Because
Oh,
we've
yeah, that
already
thing would be
seen
pretty
we've
cool.
already seen the specs set
Oh
work.
god.
So and the thing is pretty bulky. So that would be I think
Yeah,
really
Volcanion's got like these weird like skinny ass legs though. He's got like no thighs and like shins as thick as like a human skull.
Well, Canyon can't wear
I mean,
pants.
Rotom doesn't have legs either, but I'm not.
Yeah,
that's not going to stop
true.
me from putting pants on it. I want
Very fashionable item choice indeed.
Choice Pants
Oh yeah,
2017.
that
that's what
effect
I
sounds
want.
pretty goddamn cool. It'd be really good against like defensive Pokemon that can just spam one attack and get away with it. So something with
Yeah,
like a
pretty
really
much.
good stab typing.
I don't know, maybe like.
Yeah, nothing's coming to mind right now,
Well,
unfortunately.
I don't. Wait, what about like a Clefable Moonblasting? Maybe
Oh
No.
god.
that would be
wouldn't
pretty
wanna watch
gross.
that.
Yeah, Magic Guard Clefable.
That would be. Damn.
Magic Guard Clefable with like max HP, max special
Yeah.
attack, and just slap
Give
it
this to
across
something like
pants.
Jirachi. Yeah, put some pants on, Clefable. You fucking pervert.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Yeah, something like Jirachi would be really cool. Because it's got bulk and it's already got good speed to spam Iron Head.
there you go.
That's true as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice
To all the
choice,
listeners,
pants.
if you have any ideas for choice pants, please put them in the comment
Yeah.
section. I would love to read them. Okay.
Okay, so what about some other balance changes? Maybe not
Fucking
abilities.
choice pants. GG.
Yeah. So, people have talked a lot about balancing water, and I think that's big. You have to we definitely
Yeah.
have to rebalance the water.
Oh
typing.
yeah.
And ice.
Bulky
for that
water
matter.
absolutely like defines tiers right now. So what
like,
was your
so people
suggestion
said,
for
well,
that?
Poison super effective on water. Makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's
ice
been one of the
resisting it.
ones that have been kind of talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, that's right. Ice resisting because ice is some ass right now.
Ice does have like no defensive worth whatsoever, so I think that would be actually decent. I agree with both of the changes. Poison super effective on water, ice resist water. I think water does need some sort of nerf. Maybe not that huge, but I think at least one of those two would be nice, in my opinion.
I mean, boosting ice and poison can't hurt anyone because poison kind of sucks right now, even with the fairy type around.
Yeah, that is true. It just has so many things that resist
I
it.
honestly, sorry.
No, you go for it.
I was gonna say that. I mean, this is a pretty popular topic, but I don't know if water necessarily needs a nerf, but I think Scald might.
Yes, I think absolutely Scald needs a nerf. I think
Oh yeah.
I don't think the burn effect needs to be changed, but I think it needs to really be if you're gonna be scalding, you should be one of the bulkier Pokemon. You shouldn't be, it should what I'm saying is the base power should be lowered. If you're fishing for burns, fish for burns. Otherwise, pick another move, pick Surf, pick Hydro Pump, right? I think keep the burn chance the same, but tone down the base power so that you don't see stuff like Manaphy spamming it. You see other options. I think the more diversity in move options, the better, and that would actually just help that.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Just nerf it to
Also-
like 70 base power, 65.
Yeah. 60,
Yeah,
keep it
right.
65.
aka the fuck technician number.
Yeah, don't drop it to 60.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I do
yeah.
want to see a new
Or
technician
you
mon,
make it
but-
low enough that it's just like not so easy to click. Like knock off in Gen
Yeah.
5.
Oh yeah, like 5 base
or
power.
knock
Right?
off
I think
now,
that's the
what are
way
you
to go.
talking about? There is never a
knockoff right
downside
now
to
with
clicking knockoff.
97.5 base power is totally not broken.
Also, I would like to add just really quickly, that one new Pokemon, that's been revealed forever ago. What's the name of it?
Oh,
Young Goose, yes. Things hate switching into knockoff, and things will hate switching into Young Goose, and Young Goose looks like it's gonna get knockoff, and that terrifies me, like, completely. If you come into a Young Goose and you're not in a good matchup, you're gonna lose a Pokemon, like straight up.
That's assuming it's got decent stats and it's not like Lanoon.
Depending on its stats.
Okay, valid.
Yeah.
You do have to wait to the stats, but assuming it has decent stats, that's gonna be absolutely brutal, I think.
Only thing I guess you could be able to switch into that is like something that resists
Or a
it.
Mega.
Or a Mega, yeah.
Yeah. Switch into Mega Steelix. That's your only option.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right. So let's see. Do we have any more stuff for things we want to see in the new gen? I think Deebz, you had something.
I just got an idea actually. I want a Pokemon that has like Drought or Drizzle, but for Trick Room, so we don't have to waste our time setting up Trick Room via move. Because Trick Room's such a cool concept, and it's like
true.
It's viable in singles. Don't get me wrong, but it's still awful, honestly. And just to make it more viable in singles would be great.
I don't know. I feel like if you had that you could take it to doubles, and then it would just be like ridiculously good.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern with that.
Yeah, the only downside to Trick Room is that it takes a turn to set up, and then all of a sudden you have these bulky and hard-hitting mons that are now fast, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about moves like Trick Room or Tailwind, is that they need a buff in singles, but they're already amazing in doubles, and it's really hard to work around stuff like that.
Wait a second. Why not just do the same thing that they did with spread moves? Spread moves, they do less damage in doubles. You could totally do the same thing with Trick Room.
Like less turns, you mean?
or actually maybe not less turns, but more turns in singles. Because like Tailwind, for example, is only 3 turns, which is already like, I mean, it's good in doubles, but it's not like ridiculously good. Whereas in singles, if Tailwind lasted 4 or 5 turns, it could actually be like a viable option for a lot of teams.
Oh yeah, that would make it so good. Like, I want that to happen. Now that you bring it up, that'd be so great.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'd want to see that boost for Wonder Room and Magic Room, actually. Because, like, Trick Room's good as it is. It's a thing right now, but Wonder Room and Magic Room, which basically one of them negates items and the other one
Magic Room negates
switches.
items. Wonder Room switches
switches. No, it switches defense and Spadef.
Yes, that's correct. I am a huge advocate of Magic Room in general. I think it's hilarious, and it's a source of a lot of gimmicks because you can usually you can put a choice item on something, have it set up, and then time that with the end of the Magic Room. So you then have a setup Pokemon with a choice item. I did several videos on that, and it's very, very fun. It's not super great of a strategy or anything, but it is extremely satisfying to pull off.
Yeah, I think
Wonder Room is useless. Wonder Room is terrible. No reason to use it. I hate it. It's absolutely made obsolete by the fact that Psyshock exists. Wonder Room is there kind of so that special attackers can hit special tanks, but Psyshock just makes that it doesn't need it.
I think they could both be good if they were given the Drizzle treatment. Like, that's the biggest thing about a lot of the field setup moves, is that they require a turn and they burn a turn when you set them up. But like when you give it to Politoed, when you give Drizzle to Politoed, when you give Tapu Koko the Electric Terrain move, right, ability,
right, yeah.
It gives you a free turn and you don't have to set it up. So that's such a huge boost to things that could have a usage.
Yeah, I guess so. Deebz, I think you said something about you wanted to give Hail a buff.
Yeah, so we all know how kind of lame ice
it's
types
absolutely
are.
ass, yes.
I mean, it's a really good offensive type.
Hail is bad.
Yeah, so Hail is sort of the only weather that doesn't do anything outside of like Pokemon with Ice Body.
Yeah, the only thing the Hail does is
much.
damage per turn, and it boosts Blizzard's accuracy to 100.
Right. So, I mean, I've seen this idea thrown around a lot, is to help ice types out a little bit. Maybe Hail should like slow down non-ice types, because technically, like in the cold, you get slower.
I like that idea,
right?
actually.
So there's that. I don't know if it should maybe not boost the power of ice moves, because like Sandstorm doesn't do that for
rock types,
for like Stone Edge or Earthquake or whatever, but maybe like boost some sort of defense.
Yeah, defense. I think a defense boost
types.
would be fair, because
right, just something that gives them a little bit more, because defensively it's like the worst typing.
It really is.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like hail is like it's never used outside of like a bomb of snow. But
yeah, pretty much.
But just yeah.
I've seen like one team use it and
really
actually work with it, and it was some really weird
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. So.
Does anyone else have anything to add to this topic, or shall we move on?
We shall move on.
We shall move on.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay, it's time for Sets Not to Use, featuring me and Renny T, I think. Renny, you have something, or should I start off?
Seems like it. I don't. Hey, you could start off. I feel like you'll have more for this than I do.
All right. So, for anyone that's ever played OU doubles, I am sure that you have seen at least one, if not all three of these on the same team, even. And those three strategies are Spin to Swap, Anger Point, and what was the third one? Shoot. Terracotta. So, Spin to Swap, of course, is the famous Spinda and Arcanine strat, where you'll get a Choice Scarf Spinda, you'll give Arcanine Contrary, and he'll spam stuff like Superpower and Overheat to boost up his stats, and then he'll restore his health with Morning Sun. And in theory, this strategy is perfect because it covers all your bases, right? You outspeed everything with Choice Spinda, you boost up your stats, and you win. Except that everyone uses it and everyone knows exactly what it does. And everyone knows, oh. Okay, you know what? Okay. I'm gonna go against the grain here for just a second and defend for Felicify. Because when when he came out with this strategy, it was actually new and it did actually take people by surprise, and that is what a good gimmick does. When this strategy was new, it did work. Now that it's on every single team, it no longer works because everyone sees it coming. That's basically my position on it. Everyone sees it. They can either prankster taunt the Spinda, or they can double target the Arcanine and make Spinda absolutely useless. Same thing goes for Terracotta, which I think is almost more common, which of course is Terrakion and Whimsicott. Beat up from Whimsicott procs Justified over and over and over until Terrakion has his maxed out attack stat, and then he can just use Close Combat and Stone Edge or whatever and sweep your team. And in theory, it works fantastic because it gives you all these boosts and you get to do all this damage. Once again, in practice, it is shut down completely by Prankster Taunts to a point, things that just outspeed Terrakion. Because Terrakion has absolutely shit defenses, honestly. It does not take much to disrupt this strategy. Any sort of phasing or hazing obliterates this, and it's super, super predictable. It's good to note for anyone listening that hasn't come up against a strategy before, generally what they do is they don't go turn 1 beat up and then attack. They generally have Terrakion protect and then Whimsicott use Tailwind. That is the most common thing that you'll see. But then it's really, really, really easy to double target the Whimsicott on turn 1. Moving on to the very last strategy that I think that people should stop using, which is Anger Point. Anger Point, same exact thing. You see a Frostless, you see a Tauros, you're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Frostless gets an automatic critical hit with Frost Breath on Tauros. Tauros gets his Anger Point proc, stats maxed out, starts raining down rock slides, etc. In theory, it works great. In practice, everybody sees it coming, and they can just shut it down immediately. Taunts, fake outs, protects, things that are faster than Tauros. It's just not reliable. If you ever go to the low ladder, you will come up against probably all three of these, probably multiple times. And once you learn how to beat them, low ladder is like, it's just full of forfeits from every single opponent that uses these. That's the end of my rant on the gimmicks that you should not use. And I should put as a disclaimer, my channel is literally all about gimmicks. I am the hugest advocate of gimmicks in the universe, but I hate it when people use these predictable, overused gimmicks that don't surprise anyone and aren't very effective. The end. All right, Renny, go.
Oh, well said, Bandit. All those were god-awful. As someone who's usually in low ladder of doubles OU because I never played, I'm sick and tired of seeing... Oh, I actually just found a game right now with Terracotta. Actually, look at battles right now. Yup, of course. Who's surprised? Let's see, what do I have to say? Since I'm more of a singles battler, I guess I'll talk about a Pokemon that people use in the RU tier. That they shouldn't. This is part 1 of my 3-episode Fuck RU, Don't Use These Pokemon in RU series. The first one is Typhlosion. Typhlosion is so... It's not even bad, actually. It's probably the best out of the 3 I want to talk about. But the biggest problem with it, like many other Pokemon, is it's severely outclassed. It's severely outclassed by fellow fire starters, like Delphox. Delphox is way better in every way, shape, or form. It's faster. Well, it's not faster, actually. Yo, it is faster, never mind. I thought Typhlosion was 109 for some reason. Yeah, Delphox is faster with base 104 speed. It has a setup move in Calm Mind. Just better coverage all around with stuff like Grass Knot, Psychic Stab, and an actual support move pool in the back. Options like Switcheroo. Like, this thing's so much better than Typhlosion.
Can I interject really quickly?
Yeah.
From someone that doesn't play RU, it's me. When I think about Typhlosion, I think about Scarfed Eruption.
Yeah, that's what everyone thinks about.
That's the only thing that I assume when I see Typhlosion. And I think if you want a Scarfed Eruption, that's probably the Pokemon I'd pick.
Oh, yeah.
But for I think a fire-type attacker, yes, Delphox is better.
I do understand why people are so attracted to Choice-Locked Eruption from Typhlosion, because it's ridiculously strong, but even then, as a wall breaker, that set is still outclassed. Even Specs Eruption is still outclassed by Emboar, I'd say, as a fire-type wall breaker. There's just, like, way better options. Typhlosion, even though Eruption hits hard, it's still walled by Slowking, which is really common, Druddigon, Jellicent, just a lot of different stuff. Jellicent, or Typhlosion being weak to all forms of Hazard, doesn't help it either. It's just not good. I don't know, I still kinda like its design, though. So I'm going easy on it, but there's gonna be a fucking can of whoop-ass coming up the next few weeks. For some other fucking douchebags. Yeah, that's RU in a nut. Don't use Typhlosion.
Okay. Were there others, or did you want to save that for later?
No, I'm saving that for the next weeks.
Alright.
Okay, so...
Gotta gather the ammunition.
My oh shit, probably sounds like someone's dying in the background, but my friend Bandit, Drifloon has been banned from LC.
I saw that.
Oh god.
I'm gonna take it easy this time. I don't know why they did that. I honestly cannot fathom. A single part of me just not... Why? What? Okay. Drifloon was never good. Drifloon was a decent Pokemon. It was outclassed, but it existed. It was a semi-viable option. It had versatility. It had nothing else going for it. It is not that good of a Pokemon, and I think Smogon is currently getting too ban happy in their lower metas. Smogon always gets shit on for being ban happy, but I think in this particular case, it really does make a difference, because the difference between LC and any other tier is once something gets banned, it just goes up to the next tier and it's used there. When something is banned in LC, it never gets used anywhere else. Period. And I'm not really crying about this for Drifloon specifically, because fuck Drifloon, but for stuff like in the past, we've seen Metatite, Murkrow banned, and Misdreavus, and those were justified, I think. But at the same time, it means that those Pokemon are used nowhere else. So that's my real issue with
those are all somewhat NU viable.
All the bans going on.
Like, those are definitely things that you can see on low ladder NU because they're possible.
I suppose. But that's my general thoughts on that.
Yeah. In addition, Machoke was banned from NU, which is cool. Definitely Dynamic Punch was crazy good in there. I've been noticing something. Smogon, I think, is trying to finish up and really try and stabilize the meta right before Sun and Moon comes out. So we're getting all these new bans, or all these new suspect tests, like Salamence, Tauros, Drifloon, Machoke.
Drifloon.
Alakazam was recently banned to OU.
Surprise.
So really, I think they're just trying to get everything in order right before the new gen comes and ruins everything.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. And so next, a quick shout out to our friend Paco Taco 19, who competed at Worlds, did a little interview, and he posted his team report to r/Stunfisk.
Yes.
To great acclaim. He plays what, 47?
47.
Yes.
I believe he
At
said.
US
Out of how many
Nationals.
though?
Many.
Do you guys know? Just
Many?
many.
It might have been
47th out of many.
I'll go look right now.
All right.
I think he
Wherever I
needed
keep going.
like top half. So that is. Yeah, it was like probably 200, around 256 or something like that. I want to say people competing. So he's got 47th. He now has a world invite, which is really cool. If you guys want to go check out his team report, okay, it is on r/Stunfisk. We can link it.
It is linked in the
team.
description.
He outlines his building process and how he got to the team that he got to. He brought Wydon, which is, I think, probably my favorite VGC 16 strategy. I like Yveltal a lot. I think it's a pretty cool mon, so I'm happy to see him using that, and as well as Mega Mawile, which is very, very powerful.
I really like Mega Mawile. I always wanted to make a VGC team with it, but I could never really find something that worked.
It's got like one of the best types in the game, I think.
Yeah, it does, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, I spam the thing in 1v1, but I just suck at VGC in general. So
it's a shame VGC 16 didn't really pique my interest this time around, but hopefully next season we will have Sun and Moon, hopefully restricted to Sun and Moon decks.
yes.
Hopefully, yeah.
So yes, well done.
I think even some of the bigger VGC players were saying how, like, they were so not tired of, but like just the constant primals and all this and Mega Kangaskhan and whatever. It was kind of exhausting.
Oh god, but Kangas,
Right.
how can
After a
one
while,
Pokemon become so dominant 3 seasons in a row? It's incredible.
Mega
Yeah.
Kangaskhan? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'd think after 3 years we would have found a way to stop it, but no.
It is just
Even through Intimidate, that thing hits through it like a truck. So
it is just a very good Pokemon.
it's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's our wrap up to VGC 2016, 2015, and 2014 Mega Kangaskhan.
So VGC World is in August, like August 16th, I want to say, in San Francisco.
Yeah, something like
So,
that. I think it's
That's
that
something
weekend.
to look forward to.
Yep. It'll probably be streamed on the Pokemon Twitch, I think.
Yep.
Probably.
It will be.
Yep.
Absolutely. Is that the end of that topic then?
I think so.
I think so.
Because that means we are basically out of topics, unless we want to talk about the Renny T nude leaks. Are they real? Are
And
they
with that,
shops?
this podcast is coming to a close.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We really, really appreciate all of your continued support. Go ahead and click the links in the description to all of these fine gentlemen's channels. They all have top quality content. Renny T just recently used the most heat set in the universe. You can check that out. It'll be quite a wild ride, if I do say so myself. I'm running out of closing material. Help me out.
Goodbye. It's as simple as that, people.